Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and this time I'm playing in the Tier 9 Chinese light tank. It is the WZ-132A, and this is going to be at least one of my favourite rounds of all time, so stay tuned. There's a lot of action that's going to be happening, and it's going to be quite tense as well. I'll try and keep my cool during the commentary and let you know what I was thinking at the time. So I'm playing on Malinovka, and I think that Malinovka is probably the second best light tank map in the game. There are lots of opportunities, lovely bushes, long open planes of view for you to be able to spot your opponents and for them to not hopefully be able to see you. Now I'm playing on the encounter variant of Malinovka, and on encounter I like to try and dominate the mid-ridge at the start of the game. I like to make my way forwards, try and catch my enemies ill-prepared or unaware, hopefully, and just try and help my allies to supplement a little bit of their damage at the start of the game. Now, I managed to put one shot in to the Sturzfang 1030. Unfortunately, we missed the other shot that we fired, but we also managed to get 1,000 spotting right off the bat in the first minute of the game. Now, if you do use that location, do not hang around in it, because if the enemies do take the hill, and you saw that the LTTB was up there, but he actually died, I believe, trying to be aggressive up there and putting some rounds into me, just don't stay there for too long. Let me be explicit with what I'm showing here. Do not stay in this location past probably the first minute and a half of the game, because otherwise they will reach up on the hill and they're going to shoot down on you, and you will be one dead light tank. And the worst kind of light tanks in the game are those that stay in a location and either die, a suicide scout, or are just staying in locations when they could be more useful in a different part of the map. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Why would you not use the mobility and the camera rating of your light tank? Don't use it to just sit in location and try and snipe. You might as well be playing a medium tank. And Wargaming are making damn sure that you do not have the capabilities to be a kind of medium tank these days. And even some of the light tank view range capabilities, but that's another story. So I decided to loop around to try and press the field, and from here I'm fairly confident that most of the enemies in this location aren't going to be able to spot me, especially with all of these bushes blocking their vision. And this allows me to stop the aggressive RU-251, the aggression of the Scorpion G on the enemy team as well. And a shot in there, we shut him down. The T-20 HTC, I'm quite fortunate that I don't get spotted, and I immediately think about running away. But then I decide, well, you know, if he hasn't seen me yet and my sixth sense hasn't gone off, maybe this is an opportunity to light him up for my team. Now, I'm requesting fire at the target. It's good to have communication with your artillery. Yeah, sometimes artillery are looking at the map. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a good one, right? That might be the best joke that I've ever had on this YouTube channel. Whoa! It wasn't! The artillery was looking at the map. He obviously saw it light up my request for help, and he manages to start the damage off. Now, I was trying to actually track the T-28 HTC there, but I end up doing damage to him, so not a bad result. Now, he puts one round into me, and now I'm using the fact that he can't traverse the gun the whole way to use him not only to evade damage on the enemy team, but also put myself into a position to engage him. And that's just a very key moment there. When you're playing in your light tanks, if I'd sat on this side of the vehicle, herp derp derp, the T-71 and the Oni would have been able to kill me. By sitting on this side, I'm getting protected by the T-71 and maybe even artillery splashes from the other side of the map. So it's these little things in your light tanks, and yeah, you might be thinking, am I going through the car wash right now trying to get some of that dirt and possibly some of the damage off the vehicle? No, it was because I saw the Oni and I wanted to try and hug the extent of the map as much as I could to be able to avoid that Tier 7 Japanese heavy tank derping me and sending me back to the garage. I pop out, I wonder if he can still see me. He doesn't fire at me. I shoot through the bushes, and will I get spotted? Oh, there you go. Sixth Sense does actually go out, and that surprises me. I didn't expect to get spotted when you're firing through the bushes. When you're 15 to, I think it's 15 meters, maybe it's 10 meters behind the bushes, and they are not transparent, they are opaque, so to say, then that means that you can shoot through them and still maintain all of the camouflage benefit from the bush. However, now putting a round to the side of the Oni, I come around the corner and rather cheeky. Wow, do you see where that shot hit? Thank God I fired that one clutch to take him out and pulled back round the corner before he would have aimed with his big derpy gun. And that's something that you're really going to have to do when you're playing in your light tanks. Try and squeeze out your rounds without aiming. Wargaming have really nerfed the accuracy of these light tanks. Now it's 0.42, would you believe it on this? That's more like a large caliber heavy tank. But it's far better to really just fire in clutch and avoid taking the damage altogether. Whereas in a medium tank or a heavy tank, you might want to fully aim in to be able to maintain all of that accuracy to secure the kill. And when, of course, you've got armor that might be able to bounce the shot. Now what we're doing is trying to just supplement a little bit of the damage on these heavies that have won the hill and are progressing down it. Even though I've picked up 5 kills now, but 3,000 damage, 1,400 spotting. This has been a pretty darn good roll in the first 5 minutes of the game. This is still neck and neck. Well, actually, the enemy are 2 tanks up on us, and they've got a full health Lerva making his way down the hill. Oh gosh. But still, nice, easy side shots in. And now, this is what I really like about the WZ-132A. The alpha damage on this gun is just awesome. It's 320. That's the same as the T-54, for example, the Tier 9 Soviet medium tank. And all of the other Tier 9 light tanks have either got 240 alpha damage, with I think the T-54 lightweight being an exception at 250 alpha damage, for their 90 to 100 millimeter caliber guns. And so the WZ-132A doesn't really have to fire as often, which can allow you to move in between your shots, although the vehicle does suffer because its accuracy is, well, not the accuracy, sorry, the aim time is 2.3 seconds, and it's got some really awful dispersion values. In fact, this vehicle has the worst dispersion values when moving out of all of the light tanks and when turning the hull. And so you can't really fire accurately on the move, and if you do move, then you're going to spend a lot of aim time getting ready to zero in another shot, but sometimes you still do have to move, especially with the mammoth reload that this gun has. Now, I had an option there to fight the IS-3 who was coming at me, but I think that would have been an absolute ridiculous decision. Not only could the T-71 be skulking around these ridge lines, the IS is likely to have moved down to here, the Lerva's probably sweeping his way round to get into a position to shoot me, and I want to link in with the Leo on my team, because if we stick together, we've got more chance of taking down this 2 versus 5 situation than if we were alone. Now, you might notice that I'm trying to hug the extent of this ridge. Again, use this ridge to try and cover me from the vision that might be happening in the cap circle. And the fact that I'm not spotting anything in there surprises me. That means there must be something with fairly decent camo in there, or maybe I just didn't quite get vision towards the cap circle. So now on 5 kills at this stage, I was going, oh god, T-71, yeah, just kill me already. Although, well, it looks like I've still got some fight in me left as I make it over the ridge to avoid the T-71, and luckily he doesn't chase me. He goes after the Leo, who's on 676 hit points. But I think the T-71, surely the T-71's actually chasing me and not the Leo. How did he get smushed? Oh my word, something really big hit him there. Likely one of the Soviet vehicles from the cap circle or from the hill. But luckily, the Leo saved my bacon, and he allowed me to take out the T-71 there and secure the first kill in this 1 versus 5 situation. And now, oh, here we go. 15 seconds left on the game. These are some big shots here to interrupt the cap circle. 10 seconds. Now back to 21 with an interrupt on the IS. That means that there's got to be another vehicle that has all of the cap. It's the IS-3. Shut him down, and there's still 2 tanks left in the cap circle. So either it's a Lerva or it's a Stritzfang that is assisting this Joseph Stalin tank for being able to cap. However, a quick shot into him. Now we're really starting to get there. 5,000 damage, 1,500 spotting, and we spot the Lerva. Does the Lerva see us? No, he doesn't. Don't want to fire. If you fire, you lose your camo rating massively in your light tanks. You want to wait until you can shoot through the trees to be able to maintain your camo, to be able to engage effectively. That IS, we missed the shell. Will we be able to hit him with 20 seconds left on the game? Yes, we will. Great stuff. And now that the Lerva is in this ditch and charging towards me, that means that the Stritzfang 1030 has to be inside the cap circle. Oh no, the Lerva spots me. I'm on 83 hit points. Luckily, it doesn't look like he quite manages to get a shot into me, and this ridgeline should protect me from the Stritzfang. You see that I drive away. The reason why I'm driving away here is because I want to get I wanted to get away from this cap circle, thinking if the Lerva was going to come up after me, that maybe I needed to go up onto the hill. But now seeing that the Lerva is coming up this way and I'm no longer spotted, it's safe for me to go within, should we say, the 560 meters view range. Oh, sorry, not view range, because there's only 445 meters max in this game, but the 564 meters render distance. If I'd gone within that distance of there, it's quite likely the Stritzfang is going to be able to kill me. So now I spot the Lerva, but there's no time to faff around here. I've got 13 seconds left to interrupt, otherwise this game is going to be over. Now, having relocated, we have the jump on the 1030, and this is going to be my one and only shot right into the gun by the looks of it there. That could have been an absolute disaster, and in retrospect, I wish I'd loaded a high explosive round. If I'd loaded a high explosive round, it would have been a much more likely chance that I was going to splash over the Stritzwang 1030 and interrupt that cap. Nevertheless, I guess I got a little lucky. We did have a fairly okay shot into him, and with a damaged gun, you only need to crit your opponents to be able to interrupt the cap circle. You don't actually need to be able to do damage to them. And so, for example, if there's a mouse in the cap circle, and you think, well, what shall I shoot? He's front on, he's got his thickest part of his tank towards you. The worst thing that you can do is try to aim at a plate that you can't penetrate. Because if you ricochet off, he's going to keep capping. So why not shoot at his tracks? You don't need much penetration to go through, I believe, the 50 millimeters of track armor. And if you do yellow damage to it, or you take the tracks off, you'll interrupt the entirety of the cap circle, if of course he's the only one capping. So right now, this is a key moment for your light tank play. It's about using the time that you have, using the mobility that you have, and your camo rating, and your knowledge of Sixth Sense there. You see that I stopped momentarily, thinking that my Sixth Sense was going to go off, but when I saw it didn't, that means that I've kind of got a feel for how far the lurver can spot me now. And so that means that as long as I can keep this kind of a distance between me and the 445 meters spotting, that I should be safe to be able to get view range on him without him being able to see me. And there we go. We get a spot on him. He thinks I'm up. And this is a very important moment. I pull behind the bush, and he can't see me through the bush. And you see that I track his movements as I go around, and we should... Oh! Absolute disaster there. We failed to penetrate him with the side of our APCR round there. However, we're going to get one more shot on his lower plate. Yeah, there we go. There's the ticket. Now our 1 versus 5 is a 1 versus 1, and we are running rings around our opponents right now, using all of the strengths of playing a light tank to our advantage. Sure, we can't go in there gung-ho and bounce a load of shells and out DPM our opponents, but if we've got some time, and we've got a nice big open map like this, we can really do some work. So there's 2 minutes and 55 seconds left on this game. I'm in a 1 versus 1 with a Stritzwang 1030. And this guy's played 53,000 games of World of Tanks, and he is on 5 kills. He wants to kill me for a Top Gun, but I want to kill him for a Pools Medal. Let's see how this is going to happen. Now, I'm not too worried about him capping right now. I feel safe with the 45 seconds left. I could load a high explosive round and put it onto him, but really what I have to do is try and, at least in my opinion, close the distance, because otherwise I'm going to have to penetrate him 3 times. And the armor on that tier 9 Swedish tank destroyer is 40 millimeters thick and very well angled, and so I can't overmatch it with the 100 millimeter caliber gun that I have. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak my way in. He still thinks I'm towards the south. He's still aiming towards the south, so why not sneak over the marshes and get right up behind him now with 17 seconds left to interrupt this cap circle. There we go, there's the ticket. And he decides to stay inside his siege mode and turn his tank around. Big mistake here, Stritzwang. You should have left the siege mode to be able to come after me. I put one more into him. 323 hit points. I should kill him with... Oh, no! 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 Oh, what a disaster that nearly was. That dead tank in the cap circle nearly came back to haunt me, and we low-roll the shot, but luckily, that was enough. With the extra round, we lost that coin flip to kill him with a single shot, and we needed that extra round to be able to finish him off. My heart was pounding after this, securing that 10th kill and taking down this 1 versus 5 in one of my favorite games in recent memory. And while there's no doubt that I did get lucky during this game, I also feel that I used all of the strengths of a light tank to be able to achieve this victory, and hopefully you maybe picked up a few things if you're struggling in your light tanks. So this was an ace tanker for the WZ-132A, 1,670 base experience points. For this round, we take down a Kolobanov's medal for standing alone against at least 5 opponents, a Pools medal for that 10th kill, a Defender's medal for interrupting the cap multiple times at 80 or 90, and a high caliber for 6,673 damage done. Oh, I feel a bit bad taking it away from that Stritzfang 1030 there. And with 5,000 damage, he certainly did put up some stiff resistance on the enemy team. And so hopefully you enjoyed this round and video. If you did, please give it a like. I'd really appreciate it. And also, as it's Sunday, it's time for another Tech Tree showcase on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And this week I'm going to be showcasing all of the Chinese light tanks because that's my latest tier 10 vehicle in the game. I just got the WZ1321 and I've already been picking up some impressive games in the vehicle. It looks like it's an absolute treat. And if you've never seen one of my Tech Tree showcases before, it's miniature tank reviews from tier 1 all the way up to tier 10, so you can see how the line develops, maybe figure out if it's worth the grind for you, or if you've already got the vehicles, maybe pick up a few tips and tricks along the way. And so really looking forward to seeing all of you right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully see you soon.